If you don't have a trust set up for your crypto before you die, then your family will never be able to access your crypto. And it doesn't matter where it's stored, on an exchange, in a hot wallet, cold wallet. If no one has the legal authority to access it or even knows how to, your crypto will be gone forever. But since crypto is so unique, I didn't want to just guess how this works, so I sat down with the lawyer to learn the exact strategy he uses to ensure his client's crypto can be legally accessed once they're gone. He gave me a simple 3-step crypto estate planning checklist along with major red flags that could cause the entire plan to fail. So in this video, I'm sharing his exact crypto estate planning checklist with you, and if it feels like a lot, don't worry because I'm going to share something that will make it a lot easier, and you can even share it with your own attorney. So let's start with step number 1, inventory. This is defining everything you own. But here's the thing, it expands beyond just what crypto you own. If you miss anything in this section, it can ruin the entire plan. There's also one thing you don't want to include that could put your crypto at risk. So here's everything you need to include in your inventory. All your exchange accounts, that includes platform names, approximate value in each account, pretty straightforward. Also, all your self-custodial wallets, hot and cold, and every blockchain and token across all of them. Any DeFi positions you hold, so if you're staking or lending crypto, you need the details on how, where, the value, and your cost basis. Also, your off-chain dependencies. That's your 2FA app, any emails tied to your crypto accounts, passkeys, hardware wallets, etc. Basically, if you need it to access your crypto, it goes on the inventory list. That also includes your account recovery methods, so things like security questions, backup codes, all of it. As for what not to include in your inventory, don't put your seed phrase in there. That still needs to remain private. Later, we'll go over how to safely pass on your seed phrase when that time comes. But listing out all the crypto you own and where to find it is only part of creating the perfect crypto estate plan. You also need to define who can act on your behalf once you're gone, or even if you're still alive but unable to act. So step number 2 is authority, aka defining who can act on your behalf. There are 2 situations that you need to plan for. Scenario number 1, you're still alive, but unable to act. Maybe you're in the hospital, maybe you got in an accident. The person you assign here is called the durable power of attorney, and this person is going to be able to act on your behalf if you're alive but incapacitated. The second scenario is you've passed away. Now it's your trustee's job. This is the person who is going to manage and distribute everything to everyone once you're gone. But just naming someone and the general assets that they have control over is not enough. You need to define the exact crypto assets that your trustee has access to. If you don't specifically define crypto in the trust, that can lead to legal confusion and it can make the crypto inaccessible. Also, your trustee's authority has to match whatever crypto exchange you use. Every crypto exchange has its own strict terms and conditions, and if the documentation doesn't match what they require, then your trustee could still be blocked from accessing your account, making it extremely difficult or maybe even impossible to ever access the crypto in it. That's why people move their crypto to a self-custodial cold storage wallet. It can make the process a whole lot easier because there's no terms and conditions, there's no gatekeepers. The only thing your trustee needs to know is how to access your seed phrase when that time comes. On top of that, a cold wallet is more secure than leaving your crypto on an exchange anyway, so it's a win-win. I'll drop a link and discount to one of my favorite cold wallets down in the description, along with my full step-by-step user guide so that you know how to set it up and secure your crypto today so that you can access it in the future. Aside from that though, you also need specific instructions for your beneficiaries. These are the people that are going to be receiving the crypto once you're gone. You can't just say, give all my crypto to all my kids. You need to define who, what, where, and when. And finally, you need to name a digital fiduciary. Now, this could be the trustee or it could be someone else. They're basically your crypto executor. So this is the person who's going to ensure that the trustee and the beneficiaries can do all the technical stuff that the documents say. This person should have an idea of how crypto works so that they can safely navigate everyone through the process. Think of them as the translator between the legal plan and the real-world execution. And because the digital fiduciary plays such a crucial role in the entire estate plan, you don't want to assign this role to just anyone. Like if someone can't even update an app on their phone, that's not the person that you want for this position. You want someone who is tech savvy and is confident in crypto and related technologies. But even if you do all the steps up to this point perfectly, the entire crypto estate plan will fail if you don't implement step number 3 correctly. And the lawyer told me this is where a lot of people mess up, and that is access, or how people are going to access your crypto once you're gone. This step is so important because it clearly explains how your trustee is going to access your crypto and distribute it to all the beneficiaries, and simply writing instructions usually isn't enough. So here's exactly what you're going to do instead. First, you need a step-by-step recovery plan written for someone who has never touched crypto. What's a seed phrase? How do you enter it into a wallet? How do you actually move funds? Assume zero knowledge. Next, your seed phrase needs to be stored with what's called controlled redundancy, so you need to back it up and store it in a minimum of 2 locations. That way, if one location is inaccessible, like your house floods, they can still get access to your seed phrase in another location. Something else I'd add here is don't store your seed phrase on a flimsy piece of paper. You don't want your entire trust relying on a piece of paper. Personally, I use a metal seed phrase plate. You can find them on Amazon, or I'll drop a link and discount code to the one that I use down in the description. Also, you want to name a backup path or backup person, so if your main trustee isn't available, someone else can step in to manage everything. Also, the trustee needs to know where to find the instructions, all of your passwords, and the seed phrase. Again, do not put your seed phrase in the trust. Just leave clear instructions on where to find it and how to access it. But most importantly in this step, don't assume your instructions alone are going to be enough. You need to practice your recovery plan. So the lawyer recommends running a drill. Grab your trustee, have them run through all your instructions, and make sure that they can actually execute all of the technical details. And finally, set a yearly reminder to review everything and keep it up to date. If you add any new seed phrases or crypto exchange accounts, your plan needs to be updated as well to reflect any new changes. Now, before we get into the red flags that could ruin your entire crypto estate plan, let's quickly recap this 3-step checklist for creating the perfect crypto trust. Step 1, inventory. Create a full list of everything you own and everything you need to access it. Everything except your seed phrase. Step 2, authority. Name the right people who have authority. Use the right legal language and the power to actually act on it. Step 3, access. Create a step-by-step plan, test it, have backups in multiple places, and update it every year. Cool, now before I give you the guide that the lawyer made for me that will make all of this a lot easier and you can actually give to your own attorney to help you out, let's go over these red flags. The lawyer put these red flags together because these are the things that he most commonly sees that can lead your entire crypto estate planning to fail. The first red flag is that whoever you're passing your crypto onto only knows, oh, everything is in his desk. That is not an access plan, and that's not going to cut it. The second red flag is having no plan for incapacity. A lot of people think about trusts and estate planning when they're maybe about to die. But things can also happen while you're still alive. Accidents happen. And if you don't have a plan, then your people won't be able to access your crypto. The third red flag is that you created your estate plan before you ever owned crypto and you haven't updated it since. If your documents don't specifically mention crypto, then your beneficiaries are not going to be able to access it. And the final red flag is that you have never tested your access plan. Again, having instructions isn't enough. Someone needs to be able to execute it. All right, so I want to make this all as easy as possible for you. So the lawyer put together this simple 3-step checklist that you can use to make your own plan or even give it directly to your own attorney. I'm going to drop that down in the description below so that you can have access to it as well. Also, if you want direct access to crypto experts like the lawyer who put together this checklist, I bring industry experts into my private school community once a month where myself and our other members get to ask them questions directly on a live group call. Link for that is also in the description. All that said, having a trust for your crypto doesn't even matter if you don't secure it long enough to pass it on to your loved ones. Most people lose their crypto to hacks and scams before they ever get to that point. I break down exactly how to secure your crypto today so that you can hold it for the long term and eventually pass it on in this next video. I'll see you over there. God bless.